Hi guys, Heather isn't with me today. In fact, she doesn't know that I actually filmed this, so it'll be a surprise for her when she sees it. Anyway, this isn't the type of video that we would normally post. It's a lot more serious than we normally would. Normally we'd just do something funny or embarrassing for your amusement, but today I want to talk to you about a serious issue, which is labelling. Now, I don't mean the kind of labels that you stick on your luggage when you go to the airport or something. I mean social labelling. Now, labelling is the theory of self-identity or the behaviour of a person being classified through the use of a word or phrase. And speaking as a teenager in 2015, I can say that labelling is a pretty big issue for young adults and teenagers. When someone says something to you or about you to other people that isn't very nice and isn't true, then everyone says to me anyway, well, you shouldn't care what they think about you. Here's the thing, I care about what people think about me, because I don't want to be labelled as something that I'm not. And speaking as someone who has been labelled for their entire life as a freak and a weirdo, I would just like to say I'm not either of those things. I'm not weird, I'm not a freak, I'm just me. And I act how I act. And therefore I'm not acting like another person or another group of people, I'm just acting like me, and there's no one else in the world who is the same as me. And therefore I cannot be classified as something because I don't act the same way. And labelling has a pretty big issue on people's self-esteem, because I have been through things that people wouldn't understand, and I'm still going through a lot at the moment, and it does bother me. And sometimes I act a little bit strangely because of it. So I can be really upset or really depressed, and I'm always labelled as pathetic and stupid because of it. But that's not right, because all of those people who would label me as that don't know what it is that's making me become upset, and so they shouldn't pretend that they do and give me a label because of it. And you shouldn't label yourselves either, like people who are gay or straight or bisexual or pansexual or transgender. It doesn't matter what you are. You don't have to classify yourself as something. You don't have to stick a label on yourself, because it doesn't matter, because you're still the same personality no matter what you classify yourself as. And you don't act like someone else, you act like you. And that's okay, and you shouldn't ever let anyone tell you that it's not right to act like yourself. Well, obviously if you're like a mass murderer or something, then it's okay. But if you're just like an average teenager, like myself, then it's not okay. And people shouldn't have to feel like it's not okay to act like themselves, because it is. And the whole issue of labelling is not very good, because it's not good to classify yourself. It's good just to be you and separate and different from everybody else, because that's what you are. You're a separate individual, so be a separate individual. Don't flow with everybody else, because that's not the way the world was meant to be. If everyone was meant to be the same, then everyone would dress the same, everyone would look the same. The world would be a very boring place. And that's probably one of the most cliche things I've ever said, but it's really true. Because everyone was meant to be different, meant to have different personalities, different dress senses, different styles. That's the way the world's meant to be, and you shouldn't let anyone tell you that your own personal style or your own personal behaviour is wrong, because you're just being yourself, and if someone can't accept you for that, then that's their problem, and you shouldn't let it affect you. And I know what I'm saying is a lot easier said than done, because I've kind of been through that myself, because bullying has always been a pretty big issue for me. but try your hardest and stick with the people that really accept you and listen to what they say, because they're not making it up. They just consider the possibility that they might actually be telling you the truth. And I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I still am, and I probably will be for the foreseeable future. And that makes me a really strong person, because I'm still here and I still have the ability to laugh and to smile. And that is a lot. And that's pretty important to me, still having the ability to laugh and smile. And I hate being underestimated because of it, because of the fact I get upset, because I will get upset. Just like any other human being in the planet, I have feelings and I have emotions, and sometimes my emotions become so out of control and so mixed up, and I get so confused that I have to just relieve them. And instead of doing it in a really bad way, I get upset, and that is okay. And everyone always says, oh, there's no need to get upset. Well, there is for me, because that's how I help myself, and that's how I help myself to move on. And if that's the way you do it, then that's fine, and don't ever let anyone tell you that it's not. To rebuild defences for yourself, you have to knock down the old broken ones, because sometimes things are broken to the point where they can't be repaired anymore. And it's okay to let your defences fall. And I don't ever expect people to stop my defences from falling or from breaking. I expect people to help me repair them or rebuild them when they do. And you shouldn't ever be told that you have to face things on your own, because you shouldn't. And you can always find help in the world. You just have to know where to look for it. And never ever let anyone tell you that you're not worth something, because if you weren't worth something, then it wouldn't have been given to you in the first place. So just never let anyone get you down, or never let yourself be labelled as something that you know you're not, because it's not right. And you shouldn't ever let anyone tell you that you're wrong. So, now I don't mean to offend anyone or insult anyone by this. I'm just speaking about my experiences with bullying and labelling, and this is my way of trying to help other people. If you don't like it, then that's okay, but don't be rude to someone because there's no need for it, because none of you, or not all of you anyway, will know me as a person. Therefore, you shouldn't judge someone. That's just what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. I hope I haven't made anyone upset, but I do hope that I have inspired other people, if you're going through a problem right now, to get help and to stick with the people, or anyone who's being bullied, then it's their problem and they have some kind of insecurity. So always try and be nice to them whenever you can. And if you're someone out there who has labelled someone unnecessarily or bullied someone, think about what an impact that can have on their life, and think about how much you don't know about that person and how much they could have already have been going through. And just think about how you could have helped them, or how much you could have learned from them, instead of just trying to bring them down, because that's not okay. Yeah. So this video has been quite serious, but I hope this does help people. Bye!